let me start with the slideshow itself, okay? And I'll try to make it quick because panic button, everyone knows what it is actually. In a normal term itself, it is most times used in a few places. You have noticed like in car parks areas and in elderly people areas. And you have noticed few other places is a panic button itself. So because of that, I think we can speed up our introductions. And let me start with the slide. I just opened up. Okay, share screen. Right. Stacy, give me a co-host, please, so that I can share the screen.
I share. I allow you to share already. You try now.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Thank you. So screen 2, share. So. Okay. So Stacy, are you able to see the full screen itself, or is it the partial screen?
I'm able to see the full screen.
The full screen, huh? Okay then. All right. That's good. I also see that. Okay, with that says, today we are actually introducing, actually we already had this panic button earlier itself. So we're reintroducing our panic button system and the software updates, whatever we did this past few years. So let's start with a simple video. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Maybe the video I'll show you later then. Okay, so this is our panic button. So panic button, okay, the system is usually, in our system, we have two things that we use. One is for calling for assistance. Another one more is fire triggers. Okay, so these are the two things that we call it panic. Okay, one is because emergency, someone wants to call, and another one more is some kind of a logic which says that there is emergency. So those are the inputs such as fire or intruder alerts and those kind of things. You can have that. So we have two different types of indication to indicate that it is something is whatever is needs some help and needs some attention from someone, especially from the guards or in a condo system, the guards or any other places that we need someone who monitors to come and notify it. Okay, but there are in few cases I've seen in where they use for door monitoring as well, and for the case we will explain that later as well. So this is the software. Oh, yes, because of so let me show in our case here. Okay, let's leave the pointer. Okay, you can see we have a panic hardware. Don't mind this. This hardware is our old hardware. Right now we have a new one, and we have an alarm, and we have a push button. So let me share the screen where the software. Okay, let me show the software. So at least we'll have a real-time demo. Okay, software. Share. All right. So this is the software. My colleague will press the button from the panic button hardware. Okay, please press. And the button jumps to the corresponding. So the button jumps to the corresponding point of the map. Oh, wait. Yes. So you are able to see the location in the map itself, saying that where is it happening. then you will be able to see in the dashboard, okay, all the points, what is happening itself. So for instance, this is 3B green, and that was indicated. Okay, so you can acknowledge it and remove from the thing, or please press the key. Just pasang the key input. And it'll be removed from the map. Okay, then you'll see in the map itself, in that part, the icon has changed into blue. So this is the most simplest concept of panic button. Let me go back to the slide again. Okay. So here you can ask questions if you need anything on the hardware side, software side, but let me go to the next slide. Okay, so what we saw just now was the indication where a message will pop out, okay, saying that there is an alert happened, and the device will jump into that corresponding map. Just imagine the guards, most of the guards comes in overseas, and they have no understanding, and the guard routine will keep on changing. And for them to understand what is happening and all that, it is graphical images is the one that helps them. So these are the graphical images we're looking into it. So once the moment the alert happens, and the point will show where's the location, and at least they will understand where some call was taking place. Alert notification, we have two. One is the SOS call, another one more is fire call. Okay. And reports. So reports are also very straightforward. Okay, you will be able to see the time, dates, and you are able to export the report in Excel. Normally you just want to see when what happened, so that itself is more than enough. Okay. So with the panic button system, okay, the one of the key features that we have is called the automation. The automation is the most powerful tool in our panic button system. Normally, in your own cases, you're only doing, in all the other systems, you will see that you're only doing what I call that, monitoring or just alerting. But automation is something that we do it where we connect each and every bot, okay, and they run with their so-called mini server. That means you don't need to have your PC on to monitor all these details. Then one device triggers, you can actually alert all the buttons to most probably, let's say, open door. That means you can have a fire door to all the doors. The moment one bot triggers fire, and you'll send a signal to all the bots to open up. So this is where the automation comes to place. And you can reset all the doors back to lock also in the automation condition. So this is the automations is a very, and mimic panels. So in our first slide, which I showed here, okay, here you can't see the mimic panel. Okay, now my. So mimic panel is, as you can, in this area here, you can see this is some mimic panel conditions. You have LEDs and all that. You can have a relay board attached to the system software where it triggers the corresponding zones or corresponding units. It's like that. So that means without the software, you can actually make it into a panel where you can monitor as well. So the software is you can have a PC base or to view it as a software, or you can automate the whole system and make it pure hardware. So this is one of the strongest point that we have in this panic button system. Okay, so this is the overall, that's now what I explained was the overall concept of panic button. For sales and details, that is more than enough. So if anyone have any questions before I go into the technical details of it itself. right? So if any questions, you can stop me and ask. So the technical part, our system panic button hardware has one is it can act as a Wi-Fi communication or a standalone by itself. You can add in a communication board on top of it and becomes TCP/IP, wired TCP/IP and RS-485. Okay. Normally we recommend is wired TCP/IP for panic systems. For monitoring purposes and all that, you can actually use the Wi-Fi and the RS-485. Okay. So the TCP connections is pretty much straightforward. Each and every board will connect to a TCP location, okay, to a switch. Then they're able to access to the software. Right. And 485, one unit should be connected to TCP, okay, and the rest of the bots can be in series of 485. Okay. So in this is a concept, you can connect to okay, back to the software itself. But one of the units will be only TCP, the rest of it can be 485. So this is the two wired communications we have. So Wi-Fi, I don't need to explain. Each and every one of it can be Wi-Fi itself. If you want to rely on Wi-Fi, you can able to use the Wi-Fi itself. So majority of times, this panic button we use in systems, okay? There are few places that they had to do some customization. Because the board has 5 relays, you can able to, compared to our standard output methods, you can customize to your own needs, how you want the output to work from the 5 outputs. And even the input is the sensor, whether it's a low trigger sensors or high trigger sensors, also we can be customized as well. So, and they are, the firmware customization is only very unique. If the customer really something is totally different, then we do the firmware customization. But the rest of it, the hardware itself is able to customize by the hardware web browser itself. So that will be the communication side of the panic button. Is there any, is anyone needs any doubts to be cleared in that areas?
No, it's clear. It's clear.
Okay then. So in that case let me go into the board's methods. So the board, normally we recommend one board to one location, one point, okay? But there are times where you want to reduce costs and all those kind of things, or certain environment, you can use the one board to 2 points or 4 points. Okay, so that means we can actually make the board itself to fit into 3 different types of conditions. The main one is one board to 1 point. So that one means that we have one SOS input, one fire input, key reset, and a push button. This push button is temporarily used for door opening. So that means the relay 3 and 4 can be configured to open door itself. But don't need to fit into this, because these things can be set in the system to your own likings itself. But this is the guidance that we use for make it the standard. Okay? So you can use it in the fire alarm doors, where from inside, when the person wants to go out, you can use the push button to press and they can go out directly. And from outside to in, they can't enter. Okay, that is only time they want to do anything means they can press the SOS to break in, or they can trigger the fire to open, release the doors. Okay, so these are the features you can do in the fire doors of like the what do you call that? The staircase fire door sections itself. So the other methods we have was, okay, so you can see here is, I'll just show some kind of, okay. So these are the overall diagrams. You can see our relays, how it connects alarm to the door and SOS fire button and the key switch to reset the system back again. Dual SOS, that means one board can be used for two buttons. But in this cases, we don't have, what do you call that? We don't have the fire trigger anymore already. We have both also, because there's no push button for door release, but all of them are key set to reset only. That means when they press the button, alarm triggers, door releases, straightforward. So two door has a limitation for this purpose itself. And the other one is the four door, simple as it is, 4 buttons, 4 inputs for 4 relays. It doesn't mean that you need for door itself. You can actually use it for other purposes itself. Okay, and instead of the door, you can use it for the individual points of alarm itself. Okay, so here is just to illustrate it's a door, but it's a relay function. So whether you want to trigger an alarm or trigger something else is up to you. Okay, and you might ask, how do I reset this back again to normal? If its alarm is ringing, then how you reset? For this system, you either will be only able to reset it by the software, or you set up one device, okay, one device as the master reset. So then you create an automation. When you click it, you can reset the whole system up. All right, any questions, guys? So I'm coming to a very end of the slide. Okay, and this one is for our future, where it's one board for one panic button, which works as a standalone or direct to Wi-Fi itself. But this is just to illustrate as well. Right? But yes. Our sites, we have many different sites has been implemented our panic button. Okay. Lately, we've been installing as mainly as door monitoring. Okay, so door monitoring, someone wants to open the door, it triggers the fire doors, it will trigger an alarm on the system. And the moment they close the door, then the alarms disable itself. So there are various places they use it for different reasons as well. All right, so we came to the end of the slides. Any questions and systems, or is there any requests that in your side that the ideas that you had and the panic systems and all that, maybe you can discuss in our current time? Okay. So, is there anything else? Maybe I'll show another slides. The wire. Oh, so animation. Okay then. So let me, in that case is, let me show the, what do you call that? The panic button logic. Okay, let me start. Where's the panic button? Nurul, ambil atas meja saya tu iBot. I will show you the automation side, how we set up our automation. Okay, so the software, we have the first section is called the importance. And here we have all the panic buttons, the locations, and let's say we're looking at the current one is 3B. So green, So this is our board right now. If I trigger the relay, it is able to trigger the location there. So this one indicates that I have automated the relay itself. That means I'm able to off the device from remotely from the software itself. Okay, so the reports. Okay, you are able to export the reports after you select what are the reports from which date to which date you need it. Yeah, let's see. I'm just all the only the fire triggers and key. I don't need all the others. So I can do a filter and I'm able to get that corresponding.
Oh, the shifter.
Yes, is someone saying something? I was not able to catch it. Okay, so this is the report. Map, you are able to see, you can set the maps, okay, of your locations. Okay. So you can have the maps, the buttons. So let me show you the setting side. Okay. You can you can create the automations. Okay. You can create the automations giving numbers, say, all doors close. Okay. Then you can say that when the button B3, okay, someone press the key, okay, I want all these bots, the relays to off. No, say release, right? Yeah, off. Release, yes. Off, on. On is for release, yes. So I can set this automation and save it. So now I have this automation list has been created. So the moment someone presses the button there, it will trigger the all the other doors to be sent up. So this way you can create multiple different types of conditions. Okay, you can keep creating as much as you want. Okay, you can select. Here I didn't create the groups. That's why it's individually here. For to make things simpler, you can create groups of each and every units. So let's say I want group all this. So I got close. Then I can call it block A. Okay, so I can call it block A, then add all these devices into a group. Okay, submit. So I have a block A. So in the automation side, when I'm creating the thing, I can straight away select the block A and you can see all the units is there. So block A, any one of this device, anyone press anything, I want it to be happen in also to the group itself, one shot. So the automation is what do you call it? It's versatile in any direction. All right. Then I can just say, yeah, I couldn't save it because I didn't give a name. What else I didn't save? Oh, yeah. Fire on. Okay, save. So this is our automation side. Maps. So we can edit the maps. Let's say I want to add a new point. I can add to the location. Okay, I can search them. 485 by the names, or then I can add them by that. Okay, then I can save them. Then I have new points to the map itself. So almost of all the settings are very simple and straightforward, because it is made everything graphical itself. So with three, these are the main three. CCTV, I'm not going to cover today itself and all that because the CCTV comes along with the NX system server itself. Okay, so that is a whole new area itself. So I'll just leave it between this map monitoring itself. Okay, so this part comes into the settings to the person. Okay, so in the hardware configurations, for those who wants to know the hardware configuration of the panic button, let me go inside the panic buttons hardware. 0 dot what IP address 245. Wait. Normally, I can do access the hardware by accessing it directly to its IP. But since I'm doing the presentation, so I can't, I have to access it by the Wi-Fi itself, which I never set a static IP for the device. So I need to search. Give me a moment. Oh, let's see. Two to 5. Okay, I think it's 2156. The IP has changed in the device. Again, I mean, I'll try to find the IP now. Laptop. Oh, it's near there. All right, let me find out the IP address. So far, what I showed you is the software. That is part of it. Now I'm just going to show you the how to, the IO board's configuration, internal configuration itself. Okay, I have to mind you, this board is called IO board itself, and it has many other functions. But the function that we selected for today was to explain about the panic button itself. Okay, it has other functions itself, which we will cover in other days. Okay, but but I'm going to show you the level of configurations that we can use with the panic buttons. But this is technicals. So anyone who has any other questions in regarding on the idea of the plan, logics, you can ask on those areas itself. Because technical questions is not meant for everyone, and it's not for daily usage. It's only for setting for that one particular reasons itself. Okay, the IP address is 230. All right. One 192.168.0.230. So accessing the browser. Am I connected? For some reason, I'm not able to access it. Pasang yang nombor 5. Okay. Yeah, finish. Okay. I think we don't need to go in depth of the details there of the device hardware. Okay. If there's no other questions, then I'll hand it over to Stacy. Okay, and to
Yeah, thank you, Dharma. You still want to continue or how?
I think we can, yeah, we can end it here itself actually, because the other one is too technical details itself for configuration of the hardware. But which is only needed is if your location needs some different type of what do you call that configuration. Like mentioned, we are able to customize the hardware to your own needs itself. Panic button is only the location where we press, software shows. So yes, thank you for everyone for listening patiently and going through these slides. And yes, Lucy, you can carry on.
Yeah, thank you, Dharma. So
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
yeah, hope everyone is understand what we are demo here lah. I mean, we actually have a emergency panic system. You can have a 4 input and output system. This not only for the emergency panic system use, it also can become a general the I/O board for use to do something like a home automation or other purpose. I mean, as long as you have any input signal we receive, then you can trigger the output. Okay, so if let's say you have any inquiry on this emergency panic system or also our I/O board, then you can always contact me lah. Okay, if do you have any question? If no
Stacy, someone has
question,
the question on the
okay,
camera
let me
integrated part
check.
itself.
Okay. Yeah, for the OnVIF, for the camera integration, there is is integrate with the OnVIF, but we integrate through another the third party the video management software called the NX Witness, where that mean our panic button the software integrate with this NX Witness the software to the IP camera. So when the emergency panic system is triggered, so at the same time he will trigger these IP cameras to start the either recording, and also our software will pop up the real time the live view for you. So this is the function of integrate to the CCTV system. Yeah, another question from Mark. You say include the notification of email and also the SMS alert. Yeah, this one we may consider it in our next version update lah. Currently, the notification it just will be pop up from the software side. Okay, another question from Shafiq. The software need to be 24 hours on in order for automatic running or can be closed after configuration. Actually, there is not really a software. Actually, our emergency panic system is come with this mini server. The mini server is the software is actually embedded on the mini server. Of course, the mini server is need to be run 24 hours in order for the software in order for system to running. If you want to, if let's say the guard want to have this notification to pop up from the software, then you need to on the software 24 hours. If let's say you are using the hardware notification and not from the software side, then you need to be turned on the software for 24 hours lah. But of course, the mini server with the embedded software need to be turned on for 24 hours.
Yeah, the mini server is actually the brain of the system. It is always on. You don't have to worry about it and all that. As long as the power comes in, it will be on. If the power goes on and the moment the power comes out, it will restart back again and gone. You can put a backup battery to run the mini server itself. It's another small hardware which contains the software running itself. So in that case, it's not like a conventional where your PC needs to be running. Your PC is just doing, you are able to open up as a web browser, view the indications, but everything hardware is running 24/7 as long as the power is running.
Yeah, next question from Joy. How many output of this micro LED panel? this by quality IO board, the standard IO board is come with the 5 relay output.
You want to extend for the output, like if we say the mimic panels and all that. So the mimic panel, you'll be using an external relays board. So there's another board which contains 16 relays. So by adding those additional multiple of 16s, you can add it as your automation section to indicate the mimic part itself. But the IO board itself, individual board itself, for the emergency panic, those are 5 outputs. So I'm not sure if you're talking about the panel is for the mimic or alerting and all those kind of things. That is a separate relay board.
Another question from Troy. Is there application for iOS and Android? Maybe this one you can answer, Dharma.
Okay, so for the SMS, iOS, Android, these applications and all those kind of things is on the way itself. Initially, we did had an application for Android for this alerting system and all that. But we had to construct the server itself, the backend. So once the backend is ready, most probably by by middle of this year, and we will consider putting in all these things one shot, and iOS and Android plus the SMS notifications and all that.
Okay, last question from Edward. Is there a needed license for the software? It's a good news to tell you all. The software, the license is come with the hardware together. That means when you purchase this IO board hardware, it's come with this FOC software. It means that the software actually is a FOC when you purchase our hardware. Okay, another question is, what is the power requirement for IO board? Is it using a standard 12 volt? Another question from Joy also, what is the power supply specification to run in case of blowout?
Brownout, you're talking about the power failure moments, is it? Or the battery lasting until the cutoff, you can see which part. Okay, power outages and all kind of things. Yes, if power outages, okay, of course, the system won't work. But you can have a battery power itself, which is if you put it with the battery power itself and all that, and they will able to run because there's no EM lock and all that, so they will be able to run for another 8 hours. Okay, our power consumptions now for the technical part, yeah, there's how much 40 milliamperes plus that is around. It's running on 100 milliampere per board. It's lesser than 100 milliampere. That is maximum when you are connected to all the system and its relays are running. If there is no relays running and only for the connection purposes and all that, you are looking at 50 milliamperes. Okay, for TCP. If it's only using for so there are different use cases. So I'll give you the maximum. It is less than 100 milliamperes per board. All right. So did I answer that for your satisfaction, or is there something else I missed out? You can raise the question again.
Yeah, any other question? If no question, maybe I tried to play the video just now, the Dharma try to play one, see whether I'm able to play it here or not. Yeah. Everybody can see my screen?
Yes, Ceci. Stacey, you need to share the sound, I guess. By now, mine.
Yeah, it is working like this. That means we press the panic button. Straight away the software will pop up the notification, and then the guard may go to the panic button override key to override to reset it. Then after that, the software they will have a notification to show which point actually have a trigger, and there is a record down in the software. Okay. Any other question? If no question, then today we may end here. And then for your information, we were having the monthly the webinar. That means every month to introduce the different of our product to all of you. So I will send out the webinar the date and time in the in future. So if let's say you all have a time, you are welcome to join us. Okay. Thank you everyone for today.
Yes, one more thing. If possible, everyone have some kind of ideas and questions. If you all keep on asking us and all that, it'll be easier for us also to put in our development so that we can improve the system for availability for the next in future itself. So for the next webinars and all those kind of things, if you have suggestions, please, we are open to listen to it as well. Thank you then.
Okay, thank you everyone.